Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Overpowered. I hope you guys enjoy episode 3. In the last episode, we started organizing our portals and resetting our island. It looks much better than it did before. And we got into transmutation tables a little bit farther, as well as getting more of these links. I added like a few more off camera. But we have a few things that we're going to be doing today, includes one of those. But one of the things we're going to be stepping into today is Botania. That is the plan for today's episode. So let's see how far we can get into that stuff. We got to build our area. I'm planning to build it over there behind me. I'm gonna start extending it out this way, and we're gonna put some dirt, and I know how to make grass, so it shouldn't be too bad. We just gotta like actually put things down and start decorating. Hopefully this will look kind of nice. So Botania is today's episode. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into the first time lapse of us making this thing. Okay, as a start, that's probably not too bad. I want to expand this area much more. We need to add more grass in, and there's a lot of other things that we can do to speed this process up. I'm doing it kind of a way that just as the things that we had on hand. So we can definitely get Silk Touch and put these grass blocks in the EMC system very easily. We just have to do something in Tinkers, which we can go do right now, as well as a few other things I want to make, which is like armor. So we're going to do a few of those things before we start Botania. But yeah, we can start speeding up some of this process, like also with Builder's Wands. That would be very fun. I just need to get a few plants and things, which is something we don't really have right now. So yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of time to get some stuff ready, but I think this is the basis of the Botania area. We're gonna keep expanding and it should be fine. I'm looking forward to building on this. It's gonna be fun. So one of the first things that we need is more of these basic EMC links, because we want to make something that's a little bit bigger. I think is it like this? To make the personal one, we need some red matter blocks, an energy condenser, and stuff like that. So we want to make these things because we need this to actually start exporting items from these things. So some basic energy EMC link, but also import and export items. So we need the personal EMC link first, which seems like it's going to cost quite a lot of this material here. So we just need 4 of these, and then the other things that we need are red matter blocks and an energy condenser. Red matter shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully we have a few, which this will give us, yeah, like 2 blocks, which isn't good. It won't even give us 2. We need a little bit more. This is 1.87 million, which we almost have enough for 2. So this is going to be a little bit of a process, but let's at least get all the materials to make this. So we also need the energy condenser MK2, which means we need the first one, which means we need an alchemical chest, which means we need all these items. Let me go through this normally because it's going to just take a tedious amount of time. So let's just get started into it, and I'll have all these items, and eventually at some point in the episode, hopefully, we'll be able to craft these things. But at least when we do, we'll be pretty much there. We just need to get these things first. So we've already gotten as far as we can within that crafting recipe, so that's perfectly fine. We'll move into it more later. One of the things that we can do right now is actually start getting out wool and string, and I actually got this right before camera. We can make string, or we can make wool with string, and I got string from the mine shafts that we had before. Even we could spawn some spiders on here, and it would be perfectly fine. It's the same thing. But okay, so we're going to be using this to make a flower pouch at some point. Once we get everything over there, we're going to make the flower pouch the base, the pestle and mortar, and floral fertilizer to actually get started into this. So let me make those things, and we will get started in Botania properly. Let me get all the things that we need, and let's head back over there. Now, one thing that we currently don't have that we really need to get into this is bones. And of course, we can go buy them from the crates, or we can wait for nighttime and have something spawn, which is perfectly fine. We can do that too. It just became daytime. And the peaceful world doesn't really work unless there's a skeleton spawner. So we're going to try the hostile crates, and if not, then we're going to set up everything else and wait for nighttime to get some skeletons, because that seems to be the only way to do things right now. So let's spend some time, wait around. Should be fine, hopefully. Blaze rods. Blaze rods are not what I was expecting, but I will put them in there. One more try. I would like to get a bone so we can keep moving on. String and gunpowder. I'll take it. It's fine. I can use those things, and I didn't have gunpowder, and I didn't have string before this. The good news is that it's actually raining. That probably will let some of these guys spawn if we just take off some of the torches. So I'm going to go do that. We're going to just really quickly let them hopefully spawn, and we'll see. I'm going to just take out all these things. Now, since we're doing this, I actually want to be making some armor. So dark matter has its own set of of armor, that is a pretty good thing to make. I'm gonna make the regular set of gear just because it would be a little safer if I did so. So let's put all this dark matter back, mark all of these things because we'll probably be making the upgraded ones later, and put everything on, and now we are full in dark matter gear. That's pretty good. It's a good start. It's at least a little safer than what we were before because we had absolutely nothing and it was terrible. Now, if I really want something to spawn, what I'm gonna do is just set up some areas where hopefully that they'll spawn under these things because this is technically shadow. I'm hoping that the game still works like this in the past. I have no idea. So it's already showing that they're able to spawn here. It's nothing turning red yet, but maybe at some point we'll get a skeleton spawn in here. I'm gonna just kind of leave it. Hopefully that'll trigger something. So it triggered a creeper. That's not what I wanted, but that's something. I'm not gonna deal with it yet. I'm gonna make everything else while I have time. Hopefully that thing doesn't walk over here and explode. Good news, it's working. Bad news, creepers have spawned. That's not good. That's not what we wanted. Please don't explode. Oh my god. Got it. Okay, great. Now I can get in there at least a little bit safely, and then we can get this guy out of here. Just give me a bone, and then we're good. I'm gonna start placing some torches around because I might as well. We already got what we needed, I think. Did we get the bones already? Oh, and it stopped raining too. Great. That's good. That's good. Don't blow up. Got it. Okay, great. Just die, please. Thank you. And it stopped raining like at the perfect time. That's so good. I think world's helping us here. It's really good. We really needed that bone. It's just like, oh, we'll just like throw you a bone really quickly. I'm like, okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. Everything should be lit up normally now. I think that's fine. Let's go back to doing what we have, doing what we need for Britannia, and we should be good. Let me get everything ready now, and we can actually start getting into this. I don't know if there's a way to turn off the armor. I'm going to leave it on for now, I guess. Well, you know what? We'll take it off. We'll take off the armor. We don't need it for now. I'm going to keep it in my inventory. It should be fine. Anyways, so the next thing we need to do is actually make the flower pouch, but to make that we need to get a singular mystical petal. So we actually need to start getting into Britannia first. So what I'm going to do is start that really quickly. I'm going to just kind of put the chest down here, so we're probably going to be using it. I'm also going to make, actually really quickly, I'm probably actually going to make a crafting table. I don't need two of these. I'm going to just make one of these nice ones, and we're going to put it here. And then we're also gonna take out our floral fertilizer and start using it on the ground. And then really quickly you can see that there is a bunch of flowers here. And I don't think any of these things are really EMCable, which is perfectly fine, but we're gonna get pretty close to getting a lot of these things. I'm gonna just grab them all. Can we? Yeah, we can just pick them up. This is before they change certain things, so I can't remember how to pick these up properly. But let's grab everything really fast. So with a little bit of petals and a little bit of wool, we're able to make our flower pouch, which is great because we have a lot of stuff in our inventory and we need them to go in there. So before I collected everything, I needed to grab this. So now we can grab everything and it should be automatically going into the bag. Never mind, it doesn't automatically go into it yet. Okay, not on this version, but we can put it into the bag. And with that, we have a clearer inventory and it's pretty well sorted in this thing. So very happy about that. Let me grab everything and see how much we have. Hopefully we have every type of flower and then we can just start duplicating these things pretty easily. Okay, our flower pouch is pretty full. We have a lot of duplicates of stuff. We have pretty much everything we need. I'm gonna start taking out our mystical white flowers, turning these into petals, and we're gonna duplicate quite a few of these just really quickly, grabbing out bone meal. So let me put away this floral fertilizer and get bone meal. So we have everything. We don't need to worry about anything else now. We can just kind of like do what we need. So we have these white ones, and then all we gotta do is actually, I think we need shears. We should have shears. Yeah, we have a type of shears, and these shears should be able to grab all of these. They don't vein mine for some reason, which is kind of weird, but after grabbing all of these, then we can duplicate them, and then we have like a lot more. So since there's not like a pouch for the petals and stuff, it's just for the flowers, I'm gonna put that in there, and then that should be fine. So that is the start of Britannia. That should be everything in the start. Now moving in, we need to get the petal apothecary and 2 pure daisies. So we need the petals, the white petals, which is why I made a bunch of these, because I know we use these quite a lot. So that should be good. It's just called diamond. Interesting. So let's make the petal apothecary and go into the pure daisies really fast here. With the petal apothecary in place, all we gotta do is put 4 of these in here and then throw a seed and we get our daisy back. So let me do that one more time because we still need to get another one. So right click it again, toss it in, and we get 2 pure daisies, which we need them for the quest because we should be getting more than 1 probably. So let's do that one more time actually, because 3 or so is pretty good. Maybe we'll get another one. This is pretty much infinite materials anyways, so I might as well get like 5 or 6. So yeah, we'll get 6 of them just to even that out. So there's 6 pure daisies right there. Then we can move on to making a mana pole and as well as making the wand of the forest. Let me mark these things really quickly because we need to go into making living wood. So the pure daisies work like this if you've never seen them before. They're quite simple. It's very easy. So all you gotta do is put them down here and they'll, in a radius around them, they will convert certain items items. So what I need to get is logs and stone. Good news is that they're all in the EMC thing. So I just need a bunch of stone and a bunch of logs, which they're not called logs, they're just called wood. So grabbing out a few of those, we just need to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I missed that one. Sorry. So there we go. They're working. You can see it kind of going, and we're going to just space them out in an area where they should be able to do this. So this should be fine. I don't even think we need this many. I'm going to just kind of put a bunch of these things just so these things kind of go quickly because I might as well, right? So there we go. And all of these things will eventually convert into their counterpart, which is living wood and living rock. And it just takes a little while. So eventually we'll get there. It should be fine. So that's why there's a lot of them. It's quite useful to have more than one going. And there they go. Finally, they're converting. It does take quite a while, which is quite annoying. But once it is done, it doesn't take too long to collect and everything like that. So that's why I want to have a few of these because yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. And there they go. All the wood in this section is done. All the stone here is done, and the wood here and the stone. So yeah, we'll just slowly collect these things. That one I put last, so it's going to take a little while. So one of the things that we really need to make now is the mana pool, and the other things that we need to make is actually some sticks. I need 3 of these, I believe, to make the wand. So making this wand, it should be quite simple. I need more of these white ones, which was it this before? No, I should be able to do this with white ones, I think. Yes, okay, great. The wand of the wand of the forest is in bind mode. We're going to be using this quite a lot as a part of Botania. So now that we have the basics set up, we should start putting down this mana pool and start actually having it somewhere more useful. I'm going to take out a few of these because we don't have a lot of space. I really should put more space down. So we're going to put some more dirt around, actually. Let me do that really, really fast because we're going to be using more space than this. So I'm going to go extend this platform around this area really, really fast. Okay, that gives us a little bit more room. I'm perfectly happy with that. Let us leave that for now. I'm going to put some stuff away. I just have so much crap in my inventory that I don't need. Okay, so from there, let's look at the quest book again. So with this, we can get our mana monocle. I forgot about this. It has been quite a long time since this has existed in the game. I forgot because they just removed this like feature kind of. It's just visible at all times, but you used to have this thing on to see the mana that was flowing around. Interesting. Okay, so these are little upgrades, which is the stuff that we'll probably go into eventually if we really need to. It's a lot of automation stuff. We might not touch it for a while, but we're gonna need to get into some other things. So we need to get some mana diamonds and things like that. So first we need to like get some, I guess, mana in this pool first. So we need to get into the wand of the forest so we can get to the mana spreaders. This is the other thing that we really need to get into to start putting mana in here and then start generating it as well. So with this, I can make 2 mana spreaders. I'm gonna just kind of put one here in front of it. Hopefully we can just bind it to that. Yeah, that should be fine. So that's bound to there. That's the start of it. Then we want to get an endo flame, which is something that we're probably going to actually use for a majority of our time. The hydrangeas also use water, but it's perfectly fine if we don't touch this for now. I'm going to just use an endo flame since we have infinite coal, and I can probably infinite dropper the coal onto this thing. So let's make our endo flame. It requires 2 brown, 1 gray, and 1 red petal. So we should have those things in here. Let me grab them all out and probably duplicate a few of them, unless, yeah, we'll duplicate a few of them because we want to make some of these things. Quite a few probably. Okay, so with this we should have more than enough to have to just make these things. So let me get out a bunch of seeds really quickly. And all we're going to do is toss in 1 brown, 1 red, 2 gray, and that should be, is that the recipe? Oh god, did I get it wrong? Oh, it's 2 brown, not, okay, hold on. I messed up the recipe. Let me get, can you not get these things out? Oh, you have to have a clear hand. Got it. Okay. So it's 2 brown, 1 red, 1 gray. And brown's the thing I made the least of. I thought it was the other one. Never mind. So tossing in the seed, we get our first endo flame. And what I'm going to do is just make a few of these because I might as well. They're pretty useful. So I might as well make like 5 of them and just have them kind of running. Okay. So with 5 of these here, I'm going to just kind of put them around the area we already have because I might as well put them in here. And we have our 5 here. They should, I don't know if they automatically bind. I know they do in the new version, but I'm going to just right click everything just in case. Now they look like they're bound already. I think they automatically bind. So they should be running into this thing once they have fuel. So all we got to do is actually put some fuel in it. So we're going to just start throwing some blocks of coal into this thing. It should be fine. So with our blocks of coal, all we got to do is kind of toss them into the area. I'm going to throw them all in there and these things should start powering up. And then with that, all we got to do is kind of click on these things to see the mana going and it should already be growing into here. So you can see the bar going up and then tossing it back out into the mana pool. It's just going to be doing that for a while. This is essentially what we will be doing for quite a while. And now when we have enough mana to do what we need to do, so we got the end of flame right, we got that going on. It wants us to make our hydrangea, so we're probably going to just do it so we can get the quest, which is blue petals and cyan petals. So if we can just really quickly make that, if we have enough enough. Wait, these are regular. I want 2 cyan and 2 blue just to make this flower once because I'm not going to really use it. And there we go. All we got to do is toss a seed in and we get our hydrangeas. I'm going to put that away because I'm really not going to use it right now. So collecting the reward for it and then going into the generator plants. These are just as good. The thermal lily probably will be a pretty good one if we really wanted to get into making Botania powerful. The cake one I know is really good. It's just, I don't know if we need these necessarily. We might go into them later, but for right now, it's not too big of a deal. If we have to get more Botania mana, we'll do that. It's just right now that's not necessary. So what's necessary right now is for us to go into mana steel and for mana components to get some mana diamonds, infused string, and mana pearls. We'll want to make quite a lot of these things, and we can also get these from the crates if we wanted to, which is kind of nice. I just don't think it's going to be super necessary to buy that. I would like to use those things for other things later. So mana steel. How do we get mana steel? I thought, oh, there it is. Iron to mana steel. Got it. Okay, I was like, I didn't see the recipe. So once we have enough mana in there, we got to get a diamond out, which should just be fine if we get one, and then an iron out, and it should be fine if we get one, because we're probably really low on mana right now. So if we want to look at it, this already is convertible into a mana diamond. So converting that into there and that into there, we get mana steel and mana diamond, and we complete one quest here, and we need the mana string and mana pearl. So we need to take out one string, should be string, and a pearl, and these last two should complete our quest here. I think the string, oh, there's not enough mana in here yet, but once there is, it will work. I just got to pull out probably more coal and toss it into this thing. That should be fine. Okay, and with that mana components quest is done. It is perfectly finished. So we get another thing, and these are important for the rest of the stuff. So of course we can make armor with this stuff for mana weaves and whatever, but we're probably not going to go into it. This will be used for runic altars, and we will need the terrestrial agglomeration plate later. But for right now, we're not going to mess with it because I don't know much about it, honestly. But it's something that we're going to be needing to go into the rest of the stuff. These tools probably will be quite useless to us, but we're going to need to go into here so we can get to the portals, and we need to get this machine controller. This is something that I've seen that we kind of need. So we need to at least get through this progression here into Terra Steel, into the portal, into the machine controller there. So these things are also things we might do, but it's probably not necessary. There's charms and stuff which could be kind of good, but it's also not necessary. So I wanted to get more EMC for a few other things, which if I can get more of these flower powers, that would be great. They're just quite expensive. They take quite a little bit of power to grab out, and they're not as useful as I would like them to be. So I'm going to try and make our energy condensers thing. So we need dark matter and red matter blocks. The only issue is that these are quite expensive. I can still only get 2 of them. If I put one of these things back in there, I should be able to get 2 more though. Yes, okay, so then we just need some dark matter blocks, which are a lot cheaper. We should be able to get the 4 of those. Now, all we need to do to make the energy condenser Mark II is get our energy condenser back out, which is there not enough energy in here to get it? It is just 42,000. Did we not mark it? Or did we not make it? I swear to God, we made an energy. Oh, no. We made, we just made the alchemical chest. We need to make this still. So we need some diamonds and some obsidian really fast. So converting this into the next tier, it's just here. This converts into energy condenser, which will be used for the rest of the stuff later, but we're learning that and putting that back in here. Now this will be used to make the energy condenser Mark II, which we can also mark and put in, which actually that gave us quite a boost in EMC. If we wanted to make a few of these, we could probably boost our EMC pretty high. Unless that probably cost that much. Never mind, never mind. I thought it really boosted it. Never mind, it probably equates to what we got in dark matter and red matter. It's fine. So this is what's used to make the personal EMC link, meaning we need more red matter into here, which means we don't have enough to do this. But if we put this back in here, of course we will. It costs quite a lot. So we need to get a little bit more EMC so we can get into this, so we can get into the personal EMC links. Like I said, I would use this just so we can automate the production of mana a little bit better, so we can have a dropper system, just kind of dropping coal onto this thing, because there's coal right there right now. It is collecting all it can. The endo flames are doing their best, which it's not a lot. So if we really wanted to speed this up, we just need more endo flames because they're not very high quality. And we could probably get some better fuel and stuff like that, but you know, for right now that's probably good. There's no need to step into Botania any further than this. This is a good starting point, I think. So EMC is still the name of the game. It's still the pack. It's still Project Overpowered, and the EMC is the main source of things. Of course, we're not making too much progress in EMC because, God, it takes quite a while. It's a lot of work to get more of this EMC, and these flower powers are quite expensive. So it's not as easy as you would think to get completely overpowered in the EMC game, but it is pretty helpful. It's pretty nice to have these flower powers running. It's just they cost a lot. So it's not as easy as I thought it would be, but it's going pretty well so far. So we want to move further into Botania though. We need to start doing some other stuff, which includes rocks, the living rocks, and the and the diamond that we got in the past to make a runic altar, which also ends up using some mana. So we're going to kind of just put it there. So we can easily switch between these two things. It should be perfectly fine. So this is what's used to make the runes. These down here. it makes all of these runes. You just kind of got to put them in the same way we do with all the other things in Botania. You just need some mana powder, mana steel, carpets, feathers, and random stuff for a lot of these things. It just takes quite a random assortment of materials. So if we wanted to go farther into Botania to make the Terra Steel agglomeration plate, we need to go into all these basic runes, and also a block of mana steel, which is going to take quite a bit of mana. So we probably want to start upgrading our stuff if we want to go into this any farther, because at some point we need to, but at the moment it's not necessary. Of course, there are a bunch of other mods that we've not touched before and that we might not even have to go into. A lot of things in here that we might want to check out just to see what they do, especially since a lot of these things are probably just in this version and you'll never see them again. It's quite interesting to go see. There are a bunch of mods in here that we have played with before, but they're very, very different from the way they used to be. They're so different. Looking at everything in here, I'm like, I don't even recognize some of these items. But also, I don't play with a lot of these mods very consistently. The other thing that we probably also want to do is there is a system for enemies, just for drops and things like that. I want to get one of these. I don't think this is, yeah, this doesn't have a marker on it. So I need to probably farm these guys on my own. But if I can get a drop of evil, that'll give us the cursed dirt like the way we used to in different forms and fashions, right? But that'll be able to make a mob spawner, which would be kind of fun. I would love to do that eventually, but for right now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. It's going to take quite a bit of time to start getting enough of those things to get into making a mob farm. At least I think. We can make a standard one, which is probably what's recommended at this version of the game and stuff, but making a nicer looking one would be great. It just takes quite a while. One last thing that we're probably going to do before the end of today's episode is make ourselves something very simple that's very nice. We just need to make ourselves a dark matter furnace, which is a really, really quick and fun system to have. So I'm going to just kind of make this really fast and put it back in the system, I think, just to save ourselves some EMC, because it's going to be quite expensive to take out. So with 12,000 EMC, that's pretty good. What I'm going to do is, how much do these cost? These MK3s are really expensive, huh? I guess if I want to start speeding this up, I probably do want to set out 2 more of these things, because our EMC production is based highly, highly on these things. And I don't know of another system right now that would be used for this. I think this is right now the only way to really get into a lot of these things. So we're going to just be using that. The only other thing that we can do to boost our EMC just a little bit is get lucky with one of the crates. Which one is it? The bonsai lottery crate? Well, the bonsai lottery crate actually is also really good. I do want some of these, but then also getting the alchemical crate, I believe. It also has the chance to give us very high matter. So I'm going to buy one of each, because I think it's a good idea to get some of these things. We have still 7 in our inventory. I'm going to spend 1 more on a bonsai lottery crate. I think we're going to get another one of these, because this is quite useful. So we have 2 of these. We got oh my god, we got an MK4, and we got an MK1, a pretty useless one. But the MK4 is really good. The speed on our stuff is going to go much faster. And then getting the alchemical crate, what do we got? We got dark matter, which is a really shitty one. We got purple matter. Purple matter costs quite a lot. That's really good. Okay, we got quite lucky with those. Good. So we got the MK4s, which now we don't have to make them. We can start taking them out. Now we want to make the MK5s, which are really, really nice. Probably destroying all of these and trying to take an MK4 would be a good idea. How much does this cost? Never mind. We probably don't have nearly enough. Actually, maybe combining all of these things would end up into a few MK4s. Hold on. Putting all these in. Yes. It'll give us enough to get an MK... Can I just type 4? There should be an MK4 in here. Or did we not mark it? Oh, we might not have marked it. Oops. There we go. Now we can take out another one, and then we can take out the tier 3s as well. So we have 2 MK4s ready to go, as well as 2 MK3s, and that should speed up our production quite a lot, actually. And then we can put our MK2s as well, just to kind of have them down. That's a good production speed. We're making quite a lot more, I think. It looks like more, I believe. I'm just not 100% sure on that. The only issue is that now we have to start upgrading our relays and our basic collectors to match that. So we need to actually combine these into the next forms. So I need like this and dark matter, and we can combine these 2 into making the dark matter relay. And then to make the next one, I need to combine it with red matter and blah, blah, blah. I need to keep doing that over and over again to upgrade these things. It's just going to take a little while. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. Oh, hello. Zombie pigmen. And the old zombie pigments. It's been a while. Die, please. I'll take that. Whatever you drop nothing. Great. I'm so happy. Oh, no. One of the other things that we can make that's probably going to be useful a little bit later on is a golden lasso. This allows us to pick up mobs, I think passive mobs, and we can move them around very easily. So I'm making this right now just because I think it'd be a good idea. An extra utilities item always is a good idea to just kind of have in case we want to bring something home. Although we're not really going on adventures, so it's not like that's going to happen. It should be fine. But, you know, in case we do need to do it, it should be something fun later. One of the things that we probably want to make is the antimatter relay as well as the energy collector. These things are probably pretty good to just have. So we're going to go and craft those things really fast. It should be pretty simple, I think. So for this, we need glowstone, block of diamond, glass, and a furnace. And that is our energy collector. That's a very simple item there. We can mark it in. We can probably just toss it in for right now. And then we need our antimatter relay, which uses just obsidian, a block of diamond, and glass as well. And with that, we have the start of 2 new items for our stuff. So this is used to collect, like to charge EMC items, I think. And this one, it just collects items. But I think from in this version, what it kind of does is it converts other items into more expensive items over time, because this collects energy naturally. So we could have farms of these things to be converting expensive things like Eternius fuel into a Mobius fuel block, and it just naturally collects the EMC over time, and it'll turn into these items, and then we can put them into the EMC system again on their own, and we can bring out another Eternius fuel and do the same thing over and over and over, and hopefully it'll multiply the amount of EMC that we have. So this is quite a lot. It's a big jump, right? We want to do these things probably to make some good farms. This has higher production at a faster rate, so we probably want to make these things quicker, right? So if we can right now, let's upgrade all these things as far as we can, and then move into putting some of these things down, I think, because we can put some glowstone and make these things pretty interesting and fun. We can probably automate these things too if I figure it out. Okay, so right now they're upgraded, both of them, to the energy collector and the antimatter relay MK2s, and let's see if we can actually upgrade these one last time. We just need 1 red matter, I think, for each. And yep, that was actually quite simple. I didn't mark the second one, but I shouldn't ever need to make this second one. I think I forgot to do it, but it should be fine. We can have these tier 3s. So what I'm gonna do is actually just put this in here, and we're gonna go ahead and try and make ourselves a little area to have these farmed, which I'm not sure where I want to put these, but I guess they might go across from this thing since these things are already here. I'm going to make a little path and a little platform on this side, and we're going to start collecting some of these things really fast. So let me do a little bit of decoration, and then that'll be the end of today's episode. All right, so with that, we should have our little platform completely ready. I'm going to start putting some of these things down. So I think the energy collector has to kind of go in the middle, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to make a setup the way we kind of did in the past in All the Mods 9. So I think if I do this, we kind of got to leave an opening so we can hopefully keep this thing, you know, just accessible, I guess, right? So I think if we just do this for now, it should be, actually, we probably don't need a lot of these extra things. I'm gonna probably just do this, and that should speed it up quite a bit, I think. So that's going relatively fast. The EMC collection on that thing is pretty good. Now, it probably would be faster if we could put something on the front, but we won't be able to access it, so I'm just not gonna do that. So now all we gotta do is put something in here that we want to convert. And yes, we got the rewards for these things. Let me collect them really fast. So looking at the conversions on this thing, where's the actual thing? Hold on. So the MK3s, they convert, let's get something expensive. So the Eternius fuel turns into Mobius fuel, and the Mobius fuel block turns into this and that. How much EMC would you have? Not enough for, I don't think, either, actually. This is 8,000. The alchemical coal block will transform into this, so we'll probably do that. So let's make one of those. Coal, we don't have one of those actually right now, so I need to make one. So making and marking these really quickly, we put these in here, and they should slowly but surely convert into the higher tier item. And then once that is done converting, we should be able to just put it back into the system, and it should be a lot more, I think. I don't know how good of a system this is going to be, but of course once we have more flower powers and stuff, it should be fine. But for right now, this is not bad. It's a big jump, especially once we get to the higher tier ones. So this is just a kind of a practice. Over time, this should kind of go. It's already taking one, and it's already made one. It already made an Eternius fuel. So then we can shove that back into the system, and you know, it doesn't seem like much right now, and it really isn't, but it will be more once we have a higher tier thing, and once it is at the higher max capacity, when we start actually doing these things, it should be fine. These are already the highest though. The MK collectors 3 are already at the highest point. I can probably make these faster with a more optimal setup, but it should be good for right now. So what I'm gonna do is make a few of these things around the area, because I might as well make just a few, because I do want to have our EMC production go a lot faster, and if I can do anything to improve it, I would love to do that right now. I need to move this out of the way. I can't fit. There we go. So we have 3 of these things ready to go. What I'm going to do is just get more of those alchemical coal blocks, and we're going to take as much as we can, which actually is a lot more than I wanted, and we're going to put those things in there, and hopefully these things will collect and turn into Eternius fuel over time. Now, we did take out a lot of EMC, but hopefully what it's going to happen is that over time it's going to just slowly regenerate itself by putting this in there and making something new, right? This isn't a lot. Hopefully hopefully once we get a little bit more, we can start spending on the higher things. But with this kind of running for right now, it should be okay. I'm hoping. I think it will be at least. You know, I was actually reading these things wrong really quickly. I can easily make the higher tier ones. Hold on. So the highest tier exchanger is the Mobius fuel blocks, which I can make already. I was just reading them as a higher tier item, which is, it was my mistake. I wasn't understanding that. I thought it was in the millions, but it was just in the thousands. So putting these in here, these will eventually convert into the highest tier things. So having these running is fine, because then I can say that this is the highest thing. They'll multiply by quite a lot actually into the Eternia's fuel block, and we can put them back into the system slowly. So we can have these things auto going, which is great. I'm gonna leave most of these here. I'm probably gonna set up more. I guess I could. The collector, what if I type 3? That should give me, yeah, okay. I can put 5 more down. I'm gonna put a little bit more on the other side, and then we're gonna just end the episode off there, because this will definitely be the last thing we do. Okay, and there we go. We have 6 of these things running currently. It's gonna take quite a while to actually transform into the next thing, but it should be fine. It'll be a useful thing to have, at least especially since it's just growing EMC and I'm not losing anything anymore. I need to organize this though, because now this path is being covered. So I need to put these things out here and there, and that's actually probably a lot better than it was before. But now these things should be converting and helping us grow a little bit more, at least at the beginning. This should be a good starting thing. I'll just leave it for now. We'll make more of these flower powers at some point, but God, I thought it was gonna be a lot easier than this. I actually had to work for this. So to end off today's episode, we're gonna use all the SPC points, or what are they called? Yeah, SPC points that we have. I'm surprised I remember that actually. We're gonna use all these SPC points and buy some more flower powers, because I think that'd be a good idea to end off today's episode. We just want to increase our EMC production, and I think it's a good idea to do so. So we're gonna be spending all of them on that, and eventually we'll be using more for, you know, mechanism and things like that once we get there. But now let's actually properly get into the end game here. Oh, there goes another zombie pigman. So back within the quests, we can buy our bonsai lottery crate, and we have very low chances to get the high ones, but of course this is still some EMC for us to put into the system. But of course we would like to have some of these so we can start generating. So this costs 5, which is quite a lot, of course, for a good reason, which I think that leaves us with like 2. Yeah, which is not enough, I don't think, to get anything else really. So let's open up these 2 crates really fast. We got an MK3, great, and another MK3. I'm happy with that actually. I'm very happy with those, because these are very powerful ones and they cost quite a lot. So I'm gonna put these in here. That should up our production quite a lot. And looking at these are still going. It's fine. I'll leave them there. But yeah, that should be good. I'm happy with that. So I think that's the end of today's episode. This is the end of episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the 3rd episode of Project Overpowered. We've made quite a lot of progress. We got through Britannia and we got through some more EMC stuff. We're slowly gaining more and more. Of course, we're at a higher production than when we started with. This is much, much better than the beginning of today's episode. And of course, we built this whole area. We're probably going to build up more. I want to build some bigger things and more nice looking things. So I started with the rocks at the front here. I want to make more of that kind of scattered around, make it look quite nice as well as functional. It just kind of, I never end up doing that in Skyblocks, and I would really love to. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, consider sticking around, subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you all then. Bye.